I just got back from a store today that sells used building materials. It's called Restore. It's run by the Habitat for Humanity organization, which is a nonprofit, and all the proceeds from the sales go directly to support their mission, building homes, communities, and hope for those in need, which is where I found this. I have no idea how old this workbench is, but it sure has seen more than its fair share of work. It's beat up. It has cracks and splits in so many areas. It has paint splatters everywhere, but I still see the beauty in it. I not only appreciate what it's been through and all the things that this has helped to build, but I also appreciate what it can be again.
Trash to treasure every mile.
My favorite thing about this workbench is a feature it has that you don't see on workbenches today. And I'm going to show you that in just a couple minutes. But my plan is to restore this. Get it? Restore. I want to use this in my retirement workshop. It's a very sturdy workbench. I could put heavy tools on it, a drill press, a bench grinder, a vise, even an anvil. Now, guess how much I paid for it? Well, if you stick around till the end of the video, you'll find out. This top is really in bad shape. But the part I want to draw your attention to is this recessed access on the back. It's used to store parts and tools. If you're working on a project, you can put your screws and tools right in there. What an interesting feature, and one I've never seen before. I begin this restoration project by removing the top. This is by far the worst part of the bench. It has water damage, it's warped. It's split in several places with gaps between the pieces. It has no protective finish or sealer. It has random holes drilled into it. I took it apart as best as I could. This large machine bolt is rusted in place, and I can't even turn it with a screwdriver. So I used a hack with the locking pliers and a screwdriver. Fortunately, that worked. Now that I have a bench broken down into whatever came apart easily, I can begin sanding and repairing. These rusty bolts that held the top in place, look how good they come out after just a minute on the buffing wheel. There are some large splits in the top, probably due to moisture or water damage. There's no chance of clamping these shut. I'll have to cut wedges and fill the gaps. After locating a similar piece of wood, I cut a few wedges on my table saw. It's not a great idea to fill these gaps using wood filler. It's much stronger to use wedges and glue. You may be asking why I didn't just rip down each of the individual boards and then re-glue it back together rather than using these wedges. Well, certainly that's another valid option I considered. However, the width of the top would end up smaller, plus it's just a lot more work that way. These two top pieces have big gaps in the middle. I can't re-glue it until I flatten the edge square. I test fit all the pieces before putting it back together. There's also 6 holes drilled in the top for no reason. I'll fill those with the dowel, cut them low, and then sand them smooth. The way that I approach this workbench is in 3 phases: the top, the drawers, and the base. Even though I'm showing you the restoration on the top, from beginning to end, what I'm actually doing is working on one part, and then I let the glue dry, and then I work on another piece. Like this drawer, the front has a piece broken off and missing, plus the bottom is shot. I saved this old piece of 1/4-inch plywood from another project, but what I really like about this piece are those curved saw lines which are still visible in the wood. This alone tells me it's a pretty old piece of plywood. I sanded all the dirt off that plywood to enhance those saw lines. To repair the drawer, I first had to sand the broken corner completely flat. And then I attached this piece of wood. It's not a perfect match, but it'll do. I'll clamp it in place and let it dry overnight. Tomorrow, I can sand it to the right shape to match the drawer. I then re-glue the drawer back together. Now, I never put glue on the bottom piece of plywood because the wood can expand in the humidity, and over time, this can cause the plywood to warp or the joints could even crack. I'm not taking the base apart completely. I'm just removing the bolts and then I'll clean them up on the wire wheel. I'll remove one side in order to sand both sides easily. Now, I don't want to sand this so far down that I remove every nick and scratch. Before I put the bolts back, I grease them up with a little of my homemade slip and shine. This not only prevents rust again, it lubricates the threads, making them easier to fasten. For the wood stain, I'm using oil-based golden oak. The nice thing about using the same brand of stains is that you know what they're going to look like when you put it on the wood. Now, I love Minwax oil-based stains. They're the best that I've ever used. If I want it to be darker, I can apply it heavily and then just let it stay on the wood for several minutes, then wipe it off. I even stain and put finish on the backside to give this wood a proper and complete seal. Before I apply the polyurethane, I allow the stain to dry overnight. I even stain the drawers and give them one coat of poly inside and out. When the polyurethane is dry, I can attach the slightly warped top to the base. My mini workbench is now complete. I love the fact that it's not perfect. It still bears the scars of previous craftsmen who used this for who knows what. And that's the fun thing about restoration. I like and appreciate the history, even though I don't know what it is. I can appreciate the fact that somebody worked hard at this workbench, and now I get to do the same and make it live on for a lot longer. But thanks for watching Alley Picked. I hope you enjoy this sort of video. If you do, hit that thumbs up, like this video, and subscribe. I'm Tom. This is Alley Picked, and thanks for watching.
You were battered, I was tired, but we both still made it through. We don't have to look brand new to find a thing worth doing. I'll fill your face with shavings. You'll hold my stories long after I'm gone. Standing here